Okay, some things you're going to need for your homemade pop filter are some ring clamps. You're going to need a needlepoint hoop, preferably 4 or 6 inches, some nylon stockings, black preferred, as well as some flexible tubing to hide some of the wires that you're going to be using, some wire cutters, scissors, and screwdriver, and of course some Romex. So let's build this. So we're going to start off with this 4-inch hoop that I bought from Walmart. This is in the craft section. It's a needlepoint hoop, and this is $2.24. They had a variety of colors. They had the orange one here, as well as some yellow ones, and a wood color one and stuff. I wish they had a black, but you know what? Nobody's going to see this but me and you guys here on YouTube. So we'll start off with the hoop, and we're going to move into disconnecting the hoop, and then we will get started putting the nylon hose around the fastener on the inside. So let's go ahead and take away the label here, and I'm just going to release the center hoop. Set that aside, and then we're going to get our nylon stockings. I got jet black because most of the pop filters you see are generally black, and we've got enough material to do this over again in case we mess up. So these haven't been used before, so we're going to have to stretch them out quite a bit to get them to relax so that we can get them stretched over the hoop. So we'll go ahead and take them apart. We're going to cut off one of the legs, not the entire leg, just enough to cover where I need to cover. So let's go ahead and stretch it over, or at least see our size compared to the inside hoop. So as you can see, it doesn't quite fit over it without it being stretched out. So we're going to stretch that out as well. So cutting off enough to cover the entire sides of it, going all the way around, we'll stretch it out and get it nice and pliable. And you know what, looks aren't everything, so really all I need to do is just get it to where it stops the popping noises from voiceovers so that it doesn't become annoying to the viewers. So a few stretches should do it. Now we're going to try and put this over the inside loop, and having another set of hands would be helpful, but you know what, it's okay, we can pull this off. So I'm going to just kind of get one edge of it started and try to, before I get the other side down, I'm just going to stretch it out here with my other hand. We'll just keep pulling it. Once I feel like I've got enough on the outside, we'll go ahead and clamp it together, and then we'll start stretching it from the back side. So we're just going to stretch this out here like this and squeeze it over. Make sure your loop is got enough space, so you might have to unscrew it a little bit just to be able to make up some extra space. You don't want it too tight yet. So get it on there nice and firm. Pull from the back, and I'm just going to flip this over here, and we're going to go ahead and keep pulling it until we can get it all the way around coming out of the side. So I want it nice and tight on the inside. Okay, once you get it about as tight as you want, start tightening it up with the tightener here or the tightening screw here, and you might want to continue to pull and adjust as you tighten it up to get it to the right tension that you want, where it's pretty consistent all the way around. Once we have that, we're going to get our scissors, and we're going to go ahead and start trimming off the excess from the back side. Doesn't have to be extremely neat. That's the back side. It won't be seen by hardly anybody anyway. So this just allows you to kind of get rid of the excess. Okay, so finishing up here with the last little bit that I'm cutting off here, kind of cut out some of the video so it's not so long. We finish up, and we just kind of take a look over it, make sure we're pretty happy with it. It looks pretty good. I think it's going to do its job once we get it on the mic stand, and I think everything's just going to be fine. I'm going to readjust the camera here in just a second. We're going to take a look at how we attach this to the mic stand. Okay, so here's my mic stand that I use for doing computer video edits, and so I'm going to put this ring clamp on the actual stand back behind the mic itself, which means I'm going to have to take away the mic as well as the mic holder and the locking nut that holds everything in place. So let's go ahead and take that off here. And this just comes undone pretty easily. Just unscrew it. Right behind it's a tightening nut that allows it to kind of stay in its position when you have it either at an angle or whatever. So we're going to take that off too. And I'm going to go ahead and put one of these ring clamps on. Now the ring clamps were not available at the Walmart where I live, so I had to go to a auto store. I think I went to Advanced Auto. This cost me a total of $2.70 for 4 of them. So really per piece that was a lot less. And so I've got extras to leave around for other things if I need them. So once it's on there, we're just going to reassemble everything once again. And this is going to be what holds my Romex, which is electrical wire, in place. This gives me the flexibility to move the pop filter where I need it. Okay, now that's pretty well reassembled again. Now that I'm going to take my Romex, and this was extra Romex I just had laying around the house, and I need to get it up underneath that wire clamp, so I'm going to bend it just a little bit, get it wedged up under there, and then I'm going to tighten it up. Now, if you ever had to deal with hose clamps in cars, it's always nice to have the part that you're going to actually be screwing towards the top side so you're not in a weird angle. So I'm just adjusting it so that it's on the right side, and then I'm going to start tightening that up so that we have a nice tight position. Okay, now then, having my hose clamp nice and secure, I'm reassembling everything so I can get an idea about how much wire I actually need, because I have way more than I need. Now this can be adjusted to go over the top or the bottom, doesn't really matter, it's a really personal preference, but I just need to cut off the excess wire that will be unnecessary for this DIY pop filter. So I'm going to do that with a pair of wire cutters right here. Okay, using a handy dandy box knife, I'm just going to trim a little bit from the end of it. I'm just going to cut the insulation from the top and bottom because I really just want exposure to the wires on the inside. This is going to give me a better connection to my hoop, which is holding my nylon, which holds, makes everything work. So I need to be able to get that connected where it is adjustable and it fits well. So I'm just going to slide it through this space here. Hopefully peel back some of this paper that's around this ground wire. Kind of trim that off. Okay, now I'm going to try to run these up through that space right there where the hoop is connected. I'm going to bend them back on itself. That's going to give me a nice tight fit. And probably need a pair of channel locks or something. So let me grab those real quick and we'll tighten that up. Okay, so getting a pair of pliers or channel locks, I'm going to go ahead and tighten these up really well so that it has a little bit better secured point. Get that nice and tight. Seems to work pretty good. Feels like it's on there pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and zip tie it though, just as an extra secure part to this. So tighten that up. And either using your box knife or, dikes, whatever you have, go ahead and cut off the excess on your zip tie. And that looks pretty good. But it still looks kind of homemade. Doesn't look too professional, but it's definitely holding its position like I want it to. That's going to really help with the excess noises with the pops that you get from speaking. So I'm going to go ahead and use this electrical wiring. It's like a wiring harness that was also purchased at Walmart. It's kind of surprising that I even found it there, but they do have it at auto parts stores if you need it there. Measure out what I need. Now for you guys kind of curious what this costs for that. I think that the cost of that was like $1.47, or I take that back, it was $2.96 for that. So that's probably my most expensive piece. But just putting it around the Romex gives it a classier look. And if you have excess, just cut it off, where it's to size. You could always zip tie these too. I don't think I'm going to do that right now. I just want to make sure everything's working well. And once it's secure, then we're pretty well done with this DIY pop filter. And there you have it, a DIY pop filter for, less than $10. Not too bad.